Well, it's an absolutely stunning day in Stellenbosch today after a week of lovely rain, which means that the water supply situation in Cape Town is looking much better. Our dam levels apparently are at around 41%, which is the last year this time we were at 23%, so that really is great. So I'm on my bicycle, on my Brompton here in Stellenbosch, just riding next to Paul Roos Gymnasium, one of the historic schools, and I'm quickly going to get something to eat. It's lunchtime. I'm at the office, busy doing some writing and editing. Undergraduate students are on vacation, and my postgraduate students are also doing some writing. So yeah, so that gives me a chance to catch up on a few projects that I have of my own. I'm on my way back to the office again. I went into the spa, bought something to eat, and then realized I'd left my wallet in my other jacket. So I'm quickly going to pick that up, pay for my food, and enjoy some lunch. Okay, so I'm going to go and find a little spot, not next to the river because it's a bit cold for that. I'll go and find a nice spot up here in Stellenbosch somewhere where I can relax and enjoy my lunch. So we'll go up towards Kutsenberg, the university stadium, see if there's a bench or something there where you can just relax for a few minutes. Hopefully the sun comes out, because it is cold. So this is as fine a place as any to have a Coke and Fritos. I don't know if Fritos are found all over the world, but these are pretty much my favorite chips. They're a little bit like a sort of Dorito, a bit of a chili flavor on them, except instead of being flat corn chips, they are crispy and they're awesome. So I'm sitting under the statue of Donnie Craven. That's this uncle here. He was very, very famous in South African rugby circles. And this is his dog. And the dog's name, hello doggy, is Bliksem. So for those of you who are South African or Afrikaans speaking, you'll know that Bliksem is an Afrikaans word for lightning, but it also happens to be a swear word. Maybe a little bit like damn it. So I'm sitting here having my lunch under the statue of Donnie Craven and his dog Bliksem, and it is just wonderful. I find that these tiny little excursions, 15 minutes out into a spot on campus just to enjoy and get something different, it's just wonderful, rather than being stuck behind my desk all day. Now during term time it's often not possible because I'm in classes and meetings all day, but at this time of the year it's absolutely wonderful. Okay, so let me get back to my chips and my Coke. Right, so one of the questions that I get asked more than any other on my vlog is about this bicycle behind me here. People send me messages on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they email me when I meet people at conferences or places where I go. They always say, have you got your bike with you? Well, this is Doris, the Brompton, and you'll see Doris in many of my videos because she folds up. You can see the back wheels folded in. I'll show you how she folds just now. But Doris is a folding bicycle, a 3-speed Brompton folding bicycle. And these are only made, they're made in London, in England, and they fold really small. I'll show you in just a minute how small they fold to go on the trains and particularly on the London Underground. And I got it when I was in the UK. Now, Doris here is 18 years old and not doing bad for it. Doris was made in the year 2000. It's 2018 currently. And I think this is perhaps one of the most widely traveled bikes in the world, because I take Doris with me wherever I go. This bike goes with me. I fold it up, stick it in a suitcase, pack my clothes around it. There's a little cover in the back here which goes over the bike. I'll show you that in a moment. And pack my clothes around it in the suitcase. The bike weighs about 10 kgs. The Brompton B bag, which goes into the suitcase, I think weighs about 2 or 3 kgs, which leaves me about 7 to 8 kilograms for clothing and toiletries, which for someone like me is perfectly enough, plus of course 7 kilograms of hand luggage, so it all fits in. Let me tell you a little bit about the bike. So this is an M3L. So the M is for this style of handlebar. There's a newer style than this. This is a pretty old one. You can even see the brake levers here, which are pretty ancient, but this is the M style handlebar. You get an S type, which is flat, and you get an H type, which is that sort of funny round where you can hold at the top and at the bottom. But the M style suits me probably the best. Then the L refers to the fact that it has fenders, and it doesn't have a carrier on the back, a carrier block, a luggage carrier on the back. I think that the one with the luggage carrier is, I don't know what that is, an R I think, for rack, M3R, that has the luggage carrier on the back. It adds about 2 kilograms I think, and I don't need that. So 3-speed gears. Now this is one of the older ones. It still has a Sturmey Archer hub at the back here. And this little Sturmey Archer hub, mine needs a bit of a clean now. It's been traveling. You can actually change the gears. You change them just by pedaling backwards. But my other bike, Darth, the black bicycle, which is a 2011 model, that one you can actually change the gears while you're pedaling. But for this one, you've got a freewheel, pedal backwards, change the gears, and then it kicks straight in. So you can see in terms of the bicycle itself, it's more or less in terms of the wheel span, the distance between the saddle and the handlebars and the bicycle height, it's more or less the size of a normal bicycle, except that it has 16-inch wheels. All of the little bits fold, and it has a 3-speed box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the camera down just over there, just behind me, and then I'll quickly show you how it folds and unfolds. It's very quick and very easy, and because it's so light, you'll see why I travel with it. Okay, maybe let's just turn this a little closer. I know the GoPro has a very wide point of view, so I'm hoping that you'll be able to see and hear me with this. So this is the M3L. You can see in terms of bicycles, it's just about perfect. When you sit on it, you can actually get it so that your leg is in the right position for pedaling. And as you would have seen in my other videos, I'll link to it in the show notes, I've done quite a few Argus cycle tours, 109-kilometer cycle tours on this and on my other Brompton, and they're just absolutely wonderful. But the bike folds very easily. It takes literally just a few seconds to fold. You have to undo the 2 clamps, fold the wheel back, fold down the handlebars, get the pedal in the right place, fold in the folding pedal, and there you are, ready to go. And as I mentioned earlier, I also have a cover for it, this little cover. And often when I'm traveling around the world, people don't know that it's a bicycle. So I've taken it, for example, into the Tate Modern in London, into museums and places, simply by covering it over with the cover. And nobody knows it's a bicycle. They think it's a piece of luggage, and you can just pick it up and go. And as I mentioned earlier, when I travel with it on the aeroplane, it goes into a bag, and I pack my clothes around it into all the little spaces, and put it in its bag, check it in, and off I go. If I can find a photo, I'll insert it so that you can see what that looks like. But this little cover was one of the best investments that I made. It stays on the back of the bike, and whenever I need to sneak it in somewhere, and I'm not sure if they'll let me take it into a meeting or a building or some such, then I just cover it over and people think that it is luggage. So there we go. Okay, now let me show you how quickly it unfolds. So literally, handlebars up, tighten the little handlebar clamp, let the pedal down. I've got so used to the saddle over the years that I know exactly how high I need it to be. Center it, open it up, tighten this clamp, and there you have a full bicycle. You can climb on right away. Right, so that is the famous Doris the Brompton, and this particular beauty is in yellow. They come in all sorts of colors, but I quite like this yellow and black, and an absolute beauty. I have a Brooks saddle on my other bike, but the reason I keep this saddle on here is because this is the bike that travels with me, and I'll show you in a minute. From traveling, one of these little stays got bent, and so it takes a little bit of a hammering when it's on the plane. As you know, they're not that kind with luggage. They throw it around a little bit, and I wouldn't want my Brooks saddle to get messed up. But this is also, these Brompton saddles are very, very comfortable, and if you look here underneath, you'll see that it actually has a little bit of a hand grip. So when you pick it up, when it's folded, it's nice and comfortable. The other little thing is that you'll see on the back here, there's a little wheel. Now, I think the newer bikes roll quite nicely on these little coaster wheels and on that wheel, but I've never rolled my bike. I always just carry it. The other thing which you'll notice in some of my pictures is that I often have luggage on the front. I've got a Brompton tea bag, which, I mean, that thing takes kilograms and kilograms. It's liters and liters worth of space, which I stick on the front, and I can literally go. I've done trips to Switzerland with just the bike and the tea bag, with all my clothes, computer, stuff for a conference, and it's worked out perfectly well. So that is Doris the Brompton, a faithful travel companion, getting a little old now, but still does an absolutely magnificent job. Okay, that's the lunch break over. Bye-bye, Dani and your dog Lightning. I suppose I'm English. I can get away with saying Bliksem because for me it's not a swear word. Just take a look down there, by the way, how the water is flowing. Isn't that absolutely awesome? We had seriously good rains over the last weekend, so yeah, that gives us hope for the summer ahead. Maybe our drought will be temporarily lifted. But thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about my Brompton, Doris here, I'd love to hear from you. By the way, this is the mountain bike trail you can see just on my left here. I've actually ridden that trail on this bike, but it's a bit muddy today. But any questions, drop me a note in the comments section below here on YouTube, youtube.com/Dion Forster. I'd love it if you'd subscribe for theology and cycling and other related matters, or send me a note on Twitter @DigitalDion or on Instagram. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. Hook up with me on my website, dionforster.com. So thanks once again for watching. So here we are back at theology. That's the one thing that I forgot to mention, is that Doris the Brompton lives in my office in the building. So I use Doris whenever I'm nipping out around campus. Our campus is just off from main campus. Stellenbosch University has a sort of distributed campus where it's spread throughout the town, and so if I need to go to meetings on main campus or to other faculties, if I'm teaching or attending meetings, then Doris is my means of transport to get through town. And who wouldn't want to ride through a town like this on a beautiful bicycle like Doris here? It's an absolute joy. You'll see quite a few videos of me riding through Stellenbosch on Doris. So, as I mentioned, Doris lives here in my office, and yeah, whenever I need to go on campus, just unfold, out the door, and off to my meeting or class. This is my favorite bike.